What if I told you right now, two completely different financial futures are being created and you are already on one of these two paths? One group of people is quietly building wealth, buying assets, watching their money grow even as they sleep. The other group working harder than ever but falling further and further behind. This is called the K-shaped economy, and the scary part is, it's not even about how hard you work anymore. It's actually whether you understand how money works. So today I'm going to break down the K-shaped divergence, why it's important you understand what is happening right now, and making sure you're on the right side of it. Hi everyone, I'm John, one half of the Corporate Breakout Couple. My wife Fran and I have hit our financial independence and early retired by 2020, and it is our passion to talk about content that helps our audience grow their financial literacy and be on the right side of things so that they can hit their financial independence earlier. So please give a like and subscribe to our channel as we create more content like this for you. What is the K-shaped economy? In simplified terms, it means there's a divergence between the high-income earners versus the low-income earners, and is represented on this pictorial where there's an upward trajectory for people who have high income and doing well in the K-shaped economy versus the struggling low-income earners who are going downwards. And here's another pictorial that actually represents these current sentiments, people who are doing well monetarily, represented by the green arrow, the high income earners, versus people who are struggling to keep up with inflation, the rising cost of living as the economy grows. As they say, the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer. And this K-shape actually really represents that. So the important question is, which side of the K do you want to be on? And it is utmost important that if you want to be on the green arrow, the upward trajectory, you make sure that you level up your financial literacy, you keep up with the financial news, level up your financial health, make sure you're actively making effort to improve it. If you want to be on the upward path, one of the indicators is whether your current main source of income, probably your job, your career, is of a high income and you are above the median income of, let's say in this case in Singapore, the median income is around 5,008 for 2025. So you want to make sure that you're above that and your job has the potential to grow faster and faster ahead of the median income so that you can be ahead of the curve and actually be on the upward trajectory. Another important aspect to be on the upward path is to make sure that you're investing actively and to continue building assets as you go on in life. That's so important. Fran and I always advocate building multiple assets as you grow your wealth because that's where you can really compound and actually grow your wealth exponentially. And we invest in real estate, we invest in paper assets like stocks deployed through options. We actually invest in precious metals as well. We used to invest in crypto, not anymore, but we did have a go at different asset classes to see what portfolio fits best for us. And this is after a decade plus of investing in trying new things, succeeding and failing along the way, such that now we are early retired, we can actually have our assets giving us the cash flow passively so that we don't have to work if we choose to. Here's a representation of the K-shaped economy where there are two realities that's growing apart. On the upward path that I mentioned to you earlier, high income earners, asset builders, and actually tech people, remote workers who are actually in the kind of in-demand jobs like AI-driven jobs, and also thriving businesses that actually pivot and actually grow together with what's important, what's needed in the economy these days. These are the people that are thriving, whereas on the other end, on the downward path, people that may have stagnated in their jobs, people who are low-wage earners, people who are maybe in the service retail industry that could have some of their jobs taken by AI and robots, and of course the rising cost of living, inflation, and also businesses that could be sunset are probably not doing well. And this is two different realities that's actually growing apart further and further. Two different groups of people, the same starting point, but drastically different outcomes. And I can share with you that this will not be a temporary thing, it's actually structural. So the building blocks that you have right now is utmost important to where you want your trajectory to grow towards. Let's talk a little bit about asset building. And here's the hack. Asset builders know that while they are earning money from their main source of income, probably their 9 to 6 job, they are also investing actively so that what you earn plus what you invest, the growth and the potential of exponential returns from it goes so much faster. If you're talking about blocks of 5 years, 10 years, that's actually a very long time. As evidenced by how I hit my financial independence within 5 years instead of the planned 10 years, because when your assets come in and they compound, they stack on top of each other, and these are passive income. If you add in your active side hustles, your other active income together, everything grows so much faster. On the other side, if you are just a normal wage worker, you work 9 to 6, one job, your only source of income, you will earn your income, your paycheck by the end of the month, you will spend, and you will just repeat. Your money comes in, you draw down. The maximum you can do is to save an amount of money, but it doesn't compound, so it just grows slowly, and that amount of money might get eaten up by inflation, or the money you put in the savings account is running slower than how inflation can eat up all your earnings. The point of the whole matter is invest in assets and don't acquire liabilities, and that is the problem today, because people are actually buying liabilities and investing in zero assets. Liabilities like cars, houses, vacations, food, material things. These are things that doesn't give you return, it doesn't give you cash flow. Whereas when you build assets, you grow your assets, you increase your cash flow, you have a bigger financial impact on your wealth, and it's eventually you will get there much faster compared to people who are having credit card debts and paying interest. That's the worst case scenario, and actually getting into more and more debts. It is extremely evident these days that wages are rising much slower than inflation, especially when you see the amount of layoffs, the tech disruption that's coming with AI taking a lot of jobs, graduates finding it difficult to enter the economy, and unemployment rate has gone up. So inflation and the cost of living pressures is getting more and more real. And that's something that all of us need to note, because we can no longer depend on that one single job, that single source of income that actually eventually takes us nowhere. In the K-shape, for many people who are on the downward path, they are struggling to keep afloat. They can't even tread water to stay alive, to pay their basic necessities, transport, housing, food costs. They're actually hovering into poverty line because of the cost of living and the rising inflation. And it's very real these days with the amount of money printing. If you look at the amount of debt that's being created by the US government and versus the stock market, you know a lot of money is actually going to the stock market, which is where the divergence is. The rich just gets richer, the wealthier gets wealthier because they own assets, whereas normal wage workers who do not own a single strand of assets and only have debts, liabilities, they are the one that will struggle the most. They will swipe more of their credit card to actually afford more, perhaps even their basic necessities. They are really struggling. So it's no longer about these guys who are just treading water to stay afloat, but they're actually drowning actively. Another key aspect of the K-shaped economy is lifestyle divergence. On one side, you have the wage workers who are on a downward path. They are facing stress from all angles. They have no margin for error. Money is very tight and they have trouble putting food on the table. Whereas on the other side, the upward trajectory, you're talking about those who continue growing their wealth, those who have continuous cash flow, those that have passive income from their assets. They have freedom, they have time, and they have options. The old way of money making, which is adopted from the industrial age, where people work 9 to 6, get a job, secure your job for the rest of your life, one company, and then you get retired, well taken care of. It no longer works. The old way actually gives you a lot of financial stress, a lot of anxiety, and a lot of money problems. So you want to look at the new way of creating freedom for yourself, of liberating yourself by gunning for financial freedom, by actually having multiple assets, different skill sets that can give you passive income from your investment, and actually having different side hustle skills that can actually have stackable amount of cash flow so that you will find your time freedom. With what I shared today about a reality that is becoming more and more stuck, you want to make sure that you are on the right side of things. So here are 3 quick moves for you to consider to move towards the correct side. And the first one is to start owning assets. As I've mentioned time and time and again, it can be anything, but do work on it one at a time, especially if you're a new investor, because assets certainly beats liabilities. And the second one is move from a fixed income mindset, that one job that can take you through your whole life. Drop that mindset, drop that belief, move towards an asset building mindset. Asset mindset means you're actually more interested in building things that gives you cash flow, that gives you a return, that gives you dividend, any kind of asset that actually gives you that rental income, rather than you're spending on liability like an expensive vacation that as well, it has certain experiences, but if you're going one too many, you're actually throwing money down the drain, whereas that money can actually be used to be saved and compounded. And that's move number 3, where you have your main income source, you have your investment income, you can actually compound that and grow your wealth much faster. So guys, stay strong, stay in the game. That delayed gratification is totally worth it. And I would love to hear from you some comments about how you build your assets. What are you investing in? Do put down in the comments so that the community, people can learn about it together as we stay strong and continue growing in this game. With that, I'm signing off. I'm John, one half of the Corporate Breakout Couple. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Do hit the like button and subscribe so that you can create more content like this for you. See you!